back from the dead.
Hey guys, First Nexus here, and before I start even talking about anything, I want to show you this really cool vehicle. It is a modified version of a vehicle I found on Expedition. I didn't just download a vehicle off of Expedition and use it. This is a Humvee made by Rimtech, which is kind of a weird name, but you know, First Nexus is just as weird. But yeah, this is a Humvee that he made, and I modified it, put some guns on it because it didn't come with guns, and I also put a lot more armor on it, which also slowed it down, obviously. But yeah, also, can I drive through the ship? No. That would be the finest touch ever. If it was like Bad Company 2 all over again, where you could just go through the ship, oh, that'd be so nice. It would bring back so many memories. Alright, so this game, or this video, I kind of want to talk about overpowered weapons. And I say that with the lightest term possible, but I think we all know the one weapon I'm looking at, and then there's another one that you probably might not think, but the one we obviously know are Pyre launchers. I mean, it's not bad when you're in a 3,000 plus game. They're very balanced at a 3,000 power score and above range. The problem is people don't want to use them in games where they're balanced. They want to use them in like 2,000 power score matches, where I've seen people have crafts the size of potatoes, but just to stack a bunch of missile launchers on there, and it's pretty much a one-shot kill in a 2,000 power score range game. So yeah, I don't like that at all. My solution to it is pretty simple. I don't think the power score on them should be raised at all. I think there should just be a limit. You should only be able to use them in like games that have your vehicle has to have over a certain power score to equip this item or will achieve that level. I don't really know how to explain it better than that, but what I'm trying to say is I don't think Pyre launchers should be let into a game with people under 3,000 power score. I personally don't see them overpowered at all, and like, you know, like I said, if they're used in a game where the players are all around the same level. But there's always that one guy in like a 2,000 power score game that's just ruining everyone else's day because he's, you know, has his Pyre launcher in a really low level game, which a lot of people in that game are probably high levels too, but they're not using all their high level crap because they have fun playing the game as a lower level. The game is a lot of fun at a low level. It's also a lot easier to grind, in my opinion, at a 2,000 power score range vehicle rather than a 4,000 one, where everyone is more deadly and whatnot. So, I don't know. I just kind of, it ruins that kind of aspect to me where I feel like I should have, you know, everyone should be more around the same level. Everyone should have like same, I don't know how to put it, but everyone has around the same amount of armor and health, really, because you can't really do too many variations around 2,000 power score, so it's very balanced. But, you know, you always have that one guy, and everyone knows what I mean. There's always that one guy who has the Pyre launcher. It's just kind of annoying. If they are going to keep the way it is, they obviously can just, you know, do what I said, but that seems kind of redundant, making it so you can't put an item on a vehicle that has, unless it has a certain power score. That seems to go against all the points that this game has made, and that would just be like this weird exception there. But if they're going to keep it the way it is, I think they really, really need to boost up the power score. I don't know how else they're going to handle it. They probably could nerf it too. Honestly, the biggest problem with it really is that there's no counter to it. Developers of the game have already said that countermeasures are going to be a thing. You'll see them eventually in the game. We'll get flares and things like that to, you know, evade homing missiles. But until that happens, we're kind of in this situation where it's like, well, that's great and all, but what is the short-term solution for this crap? Because if I have a missile that one-shots me, come at me, and there's no way to evade it, I'm seeing a giant flaw in your game. That's kind of just the way I perceive it. So I'm hoping that it's something that the devs get on and, you know, they work on balancing the game a little bit more before they continue to add content, because they're doing a really good job adding content, to be honest. For closed beta, they have put a lot into it, and I have to give them credit where credit is due. So, you know, I mean, just good job, Tarjin. Like, this is their first game, guys. You gotta remember that. So, cut them some slack, give them some time. They'll learn. They'll get the message, you know. Eventually, they'll understand what we want and what we don't like and shit like that. So, they'll get the message eventually, but give them, just like I said, cut them some fucking slack, guys. You guys are really, really going after Tarjin because, like, oh, there's this issue, repair mechanic, it's broken, the game's broken, I can't play, I want my money back, repair mechanic. Like, that's really what if you go on the Crossout subreddit right now, it's everywhere between free key please, give me keys, and the repair mechanic is broken. You get maybe like one reasonable guy who's like trying to point out some other smaller issue in the game, and then he just gets downvoted into oblivion because no one cares. We're only caring about the repair mechanic. We don't like it. We want it to be the way we want it. But I made a video talking about that, and yeah, I don't know how well you people like that, because I got a couple dislikes, but a lot of people don't agree with me that the repair mechanic isn't all that bad. I really don't think it's all that bad. But overall, you know, I think we all know that Pyre launchers are... What? Hey, Dr. Novikov. I was going to say hey, but whatever. But I think we all know that Pyre launchers are a problem in the game right now, at least in lower ranked games. Like I said, if I have over a 3,000 power score vehicle, they're scary, they fuck me up, they might knock off a tire and some armor, but they're not a one-shot kill, and therefore I don't get that mad. Sir, please. I don't really mind them too much if they're not a one-shot kill, but at lower levels, they are, and that's a big problem, and it's going to be an even bigger problem when people first get this game. They start playing it, they build like their first 2,000 power score vehicle, and then they get their ass handed to them like it's, you know, fucking just, they're nothing to a guy with homing launchers. So let's just kind of hope something gets done about that, because that's going to be a really big turn-off to a lot of new players. And I don't think adding like power score requirements to different colors would be that bad of an issue, especially for weapons, but I think some people would be very opposed to it, and I understand. If you're opposed to it, I get your view there, but you have to agree at the same time that allowing people to have one-shot kill homing missile launchers in low-ranked games, there needs to be some solution to that. There's really no middle ground. You either are going to have the items like really good and, you know, free to use everywhere, or you're just going to have to find a way to balance it. There's no way for you to keep your overpowered item. Yeah, and I know anybody that has a Pyre launcher is going to disagree with me and just be like, oh, you're just mad because you don't have one. And, well, to an extent, yes, I want one, and I'm mad I don't have one. But at the same time, I'm more angry that whenever I go into a low-level game expecting to fight other low levels, I end up getting hit across the map from a homing missile, which is not at all how that should work, and I think everyone can agree with me on that. Now, the other weapon I need to talk about that is quite a bit, this is something that can be fixed a bit easier, and I think we all know what we're talking about here, and that's the 25, wow, nice voice crack there. It's almost like I'm not even 19, but yeah, it's the 25mm autocannon. It's not that it does too much damage, it just knocks off too many parts at once. I feel like the AoE of it is too much. They need to find a more middle ground between 20mm and 25mm. The 25mm, just each shot pretty much knocks off one piece of armor, which is just absurd. I mean, cannons aren't great at destroying your cabin, which is kind of their downfall, which is why it's not too bad. But at the same time, they rip your craft apart or vehicle apart quick enough that it's just, it's a little disappointing, I should say the least. I don't really know a better way to put it, but, you know, when you go up against one other guy, you kind of expect fighting a guy one-on-one it to be a fair match. You know, you should do a similar amount of damage. If he gets to drop on you, I mean, that's different, though. But if we're talking, like, you know, you and another guy both have, you have two 20mm cannons, and he has one 25mm autocannon, okay? He's going to win that battle, and that doesn't make sense to me. Unless, like, if I'm talking about two people just going, like, with the same vehicle going head-on head, the 25mm cannon will win, and that's fine. That's not a problem. It's the better weapon. It should win, even though you have two of the worst ones, but whatever. But the argument can still be made that, you know, this autocannon should not be so powerful. If it's going to pick off armor the way it is, then the fire rate really needs to be reduced. I mean, the fire rate, I think it's either the same or faster as the 20mm, which, yeah, that's fine, like, you know, but you could either have the damage or the fire rate. Like, come on, guys. let's face it, it's just not a simple, I don't really know how to put it. It's just not a simple, you know, oh, well, it works, you know, it's fine, but I don't think it works that well. It just picks your armor off too fast, and when you, especially tires, and especially since there's no tire repair kit in the game, I just see that as a big issue in the game. And when I say tire repair kit, I mean only tires. I am a very, I'm very against, I've heard several people say that they want repair kits in the game. I'm very, very strongly against repair kits. But I think you should have, like, spare tires, or if you get all your tires knocked off, each tire takes 5 seconds of undamaged. You cannot take damage in that time of undamaged, you know, like 5 undamaged seconds to repair for each tire. So you lose 4 tires, then it's 20 seconds you have to spend outside of combat, which is not that bad. You know, matches are about 3 minutes each, so that'll probably, if you get into a fight and you kill one person, that'll probably take up about a minute. You then take 20 seconds out of your gameplay to repair yourself, and that'll give you enough time to go get back into combat. But if you lose your tires again, you probably won't have enough time to just get right back in the match. You're going to have to probably, you know, if you lose your tires again, the match will most likely run out before you repair, is what I'm saying, which is how that should be. You shouldn't be able to just keep coming to the match, and that's why I'm a very, very against the like full-on repair kits. I do not think repair kits belong in this game. If someone knocks off my armor, I accept that that's armor is gone, and it's because I didn't, you know, use cover or I wasn't playing carefully enough. But tires, on the other hand, that's the first thing players aim for, and it just kind of sucks, you know. And like I was saying with the 25mm autocannon, it will knock off tires in like 1 or 2 shots, which just, damn it. That's all I have to say about that. You know, that's just too quick. But I hope you guys kind of agree with me. This is not really meant to be a hating on the game video. I was just kind of pointing out some issues I had with it. So, yeah, don't think this is a negative review of the game in any way. That's just kind of my thoughts on it, and I hope you enjoyed. So, see you guys in the next one. Peace out.